जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Saturday. It is 7th of June. It is Jyeshta Masa or the Trivikrama Masa, Sukla Paksham, and it is the Dwadasi Tithi. So today, Dwadasi Parayana time to break the fast between 6:57 and 10:14. Okay, so apart from that Dwadasi Parayana, there are no other events. So we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Uddhava is remembering all Krishna's pastimes and then speaking to Vidura, so about Dwarka pastimes. So Krishna has married 16,108 wives, and he has begotten 10 children in each, 10 sons in each and every wife of Krishna. Tasu apatyani ajanayat atmatulyani sarvataha, and each and every son of Krishna, they are exactly inheriting the same qualities as Krishna in sarvataha, in all respects, in the prowess and everything else. Atmatulyani sarvataha. Ekaikasyam dasha dasha prakrutehe vibhushaya. That is to expand Krishna himself through his children. Vibhushaya, that is his desire. Prakrutehe, to expand. And ekaikasyam dasha dasha. So 10 children in each and every way. So likewise, Uddhava has said yesterday, Tasvapatyani adhaniyat yad atmatulyani sarvataha. Atmatulyani sarvataha ekaikasyam dasha dasha prakrutehi vibhushaya. And after saying that, and his children and his all his devotees, they're also atmatulyani sarvataha, and they're also as much powerful as Krishna. In order to say that, Uddhava is saying that previously there is a Kalayavana and a Magadha king, that is Jarasandha, Salva, so many other demonic people, they have tried to attack Krishna and Dwaraka or Madhurapura. But Krishna, even though he is able to kill all of them personally, but he wanted to give that fame to his devotees and his family members like that. He has engaged Arjuna, Bhima, and his family members, so like in participating in the battles to show their prowess. Likewise, he has shared the glory with them to show their prowess as well. So, likewise, Uddhava is speaking to Vidura. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 3, and verse number 10. कालमागधशाल्वादीन् अनीकैरुन्दतः पुरम् अजीघनत् स्वयं दिव्यं स्वपुंसं तेज आदिशत्. Kalamagada Kalayavana, Kala is the Kalayavana, Magadha is the king of Magadha, that is Jarasandha. Salvadin, Salva, the king Salva. This is Salva, he was the one, so he is the lover of Amba. So when Bhishma has taken 3 princesses of Kasi, so King Salva was in love with the Amba. So after Bhishma has taken 3 princesses, Amba said to Bhishma, then he has asked Amba to go back to Salva, but Salva did not accept. because she was taken by Bhishma already. So later on, Salva is the friend of Shishupala and Dantavakra, like that, and he wanted to take revenge. And Salva was also present when Rukmini was kidnapped by Krishna in the Kundina Nagara. And Krishna, this Salva wanted to take revenge on Krishna when Krishna went to the Hastinapura. So during that time, he has attacked Dwaraka Nagara. So he has he has performed an austerity that every day he used to eat the just handful of soil and then worship Lord Shiva to get a vehicle which cannot be defeated by the demigods, like that. And using that one, he has attacked that Dwaraka Nagara. So King Salvai has got mystic powers. Yes. Okay, and this is Salwadin and many others. And Anikaihi Rundataha Puram. And when they have encircled the city of Madura. So Madura was attacked by Jarasandha and Kalayavana. And then later on, Kalyavana changed and Krishna appeared that he has ran away from the battle. But he wanted to give Muchukunda share the glory of it. So that's why all devotees hear about the Muchukunda's glories as well. Anekai Rundataha Puram, Ajay Ganath Swayam Divyam. And in order to kill all these demonic people, Ajay Ganath Swayam Divyam, he is powerful as well. Divyam, transcendental. Swayam, personally, he is able to kill all of them. But Swapumsam Teja Adishat, he has Swapumsam Teja. In order to exhibit his personal devotees or his family members, Adishat, and he has engaged in such a way, he has orchestrated the circumstances that Bhima is going to kill Jarasandha, Arjuna is going to kill the Kurukshetra, and so many warriors in the Kurukshetra battle, and also the Pradyumna and the Samba and many others, Balaram. So they have also five participate in the battle to defeat all these demoniac people. So likewise, Uddhava is remembering and speaking to Vidura. Kalamagar Salvadhin Anikai Rundataha Puram Ajiganat Swayam Divyam Swapumsam Teja Adishat. So translation for this verse. Kalayavana, the king of Magadha, and Salva attacked the city of Madura. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. Can I request Sanchita Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. After the death of Kamsa, when Mathura was encircled by the soldiers of Kalayavana, Jarasandha and Salva, the Lord seemingly fled from the city, and thus he is known as Ranchod, or one who fled from fighting. Actually, the fact was that Krishna wanted to kill them through the agency of his own men, devotees like Muchukunda and Bhima. Kalayavana and king of Magadha were killed by Muchukunda and Bhima respectively, who acted as the agents of the Lord. By such acts, the Lord wanted to exhibit the prowess of his devotees as if he were personally unable to fight, but his devotees could kill them. The relationship between the Lord with his devotees is a very happy one. Actually, the Lord descended at the request of Brahma in order to kill all the undesirables of the world, but to divide the share of glory, he sometimes engaged his devotees to take the credit. The battlefield of Kurukshetra was designed by the Lord himself, but just to give credit to his devotee Arjuna, Nimitta Matram Bhava Savya Savya Sachin. Savya Sachin. He played the part of the charioteer while uh, Arjuna was given the chance to play the fighter and thus become the hero of the Battle of Kurukshetra. What he wants to do himself by transcendental plans, he executes through his confidential devotees. That is the way of the Lord's mercy towards his pure, unalloyed devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here there is again the death of Kamsa. So there are Jarasanda's two daughters. So they are the wives of Kamsa. So previously, when Jarasandha was attacking Madura before this one, he was fighting with Kamsa. So Kamsa defeated Jarasandha once. So at that time, he was pleased with Kamsa. So Kamsa won. Jarasandha wanted to make Kamsa as his son-in-law, so he gave his two daughters to Kamsa. So that's why their relationship was established. And later on, we know that Kamsa he has been so envious towards Krishna. He was making so many plans. After Krishna has come to Mathura and killed him, and then later on Jarasandha was criticizing Krishna, you have killed your uncle like that. But he did not mention anything that Kamsa has killed the children, his nephews. He did not mention all those things. But so that was starting of the battle between Krishna and Jarasandha. After even though 18 times was attacked by Jarasandha, so in the initial conversations he speaks. But later on, even though first he was defeated by Krishna, um, very utterly defeated. So Jarasandha went and then he was just lamenting why I was defeated. And then uh, so his friends were encouraging him. So don't worry about it, is the fate. And then you just again try. Only it is karmanya vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma pala hetur ma te samgustva karmani. Only your duty is to fight. Don't expect your results. So results are in the hands of the fate. So in such a way, Jarasandha was encouraged, and then he has been attacking Madura for 17 times, and 18 times Krishna has left the battle. So here, so during that 18 time, Kalyavana also accompanied Jarasandha. So later on, Krishna has led this Kalyavana towards the a cave, mountain cave where Muchukunda was there, in order to bring out the glories of Muchukunda. If Krishna did not go there, we wouldn't have known about Muchukunda and his glories, how he has helped the demigods in the battle. So likewise, he wanted to give glories to Muchukunda as well. And that's why, even though Krishna is known as Ranchor, but he wanted to give the glories to Muchukunda. Uh, Actually, the fact was that Lord wanted to kill them through the agency of his own men, devotees like Muchukunda and Bhima. And Bhima has killed Jarasandha. So before Rajasuya said, this is the purpose Krishna has not killed Jarasandha. Jarasandha has captured so many other kings and imprisoned in his kingdom. But later on, when Yudhishthira wanted to perform Rajasuya sacrifice, so first of all, he needs to um, defeat all the kings of the world to perform a sacrifice of Rajasuya sacrifice. Otherwise, it cannot be possible. Previously, only Harishchandra was done that sacrifice, no one else after that. And then one demigod as well. But no one has done. So here, but in order to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, there will be so much of blood. That means fightings should happen. All kings cannot accept that much easily. If some country, for example, here, I wanted to become the king of the world, then all countries they do not accept. They say it is our country's prestige, something like that. They will come and try to fight. Even a small country, they will try to fight. But to perform Rajasuya sacrifice, it is not that easy. But Jarasandha has captured so many of kings. If Bhima defeats Jarasandha, then path will be easy to carry out the Rajasuya sacrifice, because all the kings defeated by Jarasandha would support Yudhishthira and Bhima. And if Krishna kills, they also support. But Krishna, he does not need anyone's help. But he wanted to engage, of course, Bhima, Arjuna, and then Krishna. Three went to the Jarasandha and asked for battle in duel. But Jarasandha only chose Bhima. But through Bhima, Jarasandha was killed. And then later on, many other kings were also defeated by Arjuna and uh, Nakula and Sahadeva, and they got so much of wealth to perform Rajasuya sacrifice. So Krishna has helped Yudhishthira in that perspective. And then devotees like Muchukunda and Bhima, Kalyavana and the king of Magadha were also killed by Muchukunda and Bhima respectively, who acted as agents of the Lord. By such acts, Lord wanted to exhibit the prowess of his devotees as if he were personally unable to fight, but his devotees could kill them. Yes. So many things, sometimes we may see that we wanted to see the Lord, or Lord wanted to do perform some miracle, something like that. They wanted to see like that. But here, generally, we would see those things are exhibited by through his devotees. If Krishna wanted to expand his Krishna consciousness movement, so through his devotees only. He wanted his devotees, so that is the relationship of Lord with his devotees, very happy one. Actually, the Lord descended at the request of request of Brahma, in order to kill all the undesirables of the world. But to divide the share of his glory, he sometimes engaged his devotees to take the credit. So this is very nice. This is Krishna is always inclined towards his devotees. Uh, अपि च दर्शनं शश्वत सर्वलोका नमस्कृतं sant. So he was Vrichanugraha Kataram. He always wanted to give uh, benedictions to his devotees. Vrichanugraha Kataram. And here when the Tasmatvam Uttista Yasho Labhasva, oh Arjuna, just get up and fight. तस्मात् त्वम् उत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रुन् भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समृद्धम् and enjoy this rajyam, the kingdom, and you just fight and defeat all of them. Jitva shatrun mayaivaite nihraha purvameva. Mayaivaite nihtaha purvameva. I have defeated already. It is already, glory is just waiting. Everything is previously purvameva. Everything is already arranged. I have killed all these enemies. Nihat Mayaiva Mayaivaite Nihitaha. I already killed them. What you just need to engage yourself as an instrument. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. You just act like a instrument. So and then you take the credit. He wanted to give the credit to his devotees. And here the battle of Kurukshetra was designed by the Lord himself, but just to give credit to his devotees. Arjuna. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. He played part of that charioteer as well. So to participate in that, this is the pleasure of the Lord. Taking while he is engaged with his devotees, there's so much intimate relationship. Okay, it is all enjoyable and very pleasing. There is no rules and regulations when the Lord and devotees are there together. It is always love exchanges only. And sometimes that different kinds of moods are also appearing, like the friendship, Vashalya, and Madhura Rasa, Dasya Rasa, and anger, all these things that is in the loving based on the um, relationship with the Lord. And sometimes with the gopis as well, there is a pranaya kopa, that is anger in the sulkiness in a loving way. So that is so pleasing to the Lord. So he comes here uh, to enjoy with his devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam. Bhavetyasa satvenam lokan vai lokabhavanaha. Okay, so and then Arjuna was given the chance to play the fighter and thus became hero of the battle of Kurukshetra. What he wants to do himself by transcendental plans, he executes through his confidential devotees. That is the way of Lord's mercy towards his pure and allied devotees. Yes, so this is very nice. So, and also when his family was fighting with this Salva during the time, Pradyumna was fighting with Salva as well. Before Krishna arrives, he was attacking Salva and he has diminished some of his mystic powers as well. And during the fighting with Banasara, Krishna's family was engaged. to fight with Kartikeya, Ganesha, and many other demigods. So Balaram, Sambha, they were all engaged in fighting with the Lord Shiva. But many of those people were defeated by Krishna's family. This is Swapumsam Teja Adishat. His to glorify his devotees' prowess. Likewise, Uddhava is mentioning here. कालमागध साल्वाधीन अनीकैरुन्दितः पुरम् अजीगण स्वयं दिव्यं स्वपुंसं तेज आदिशत्. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jaya. Okay, we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today letter to Satsvarupa, August 20th, 1970, Tokyo. Okay, so can I request Saranya Mataji to read this letter?
Hare Krishna. My dear Satsvarupa, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated August 13, 1970. Since I have left Los Angeles, I have received many letters from many centers, but I have not received any letter from New York, nor a letter from Brahmananda Swami, nor Gargamani Swami. I have already sent a circular letter requesting the Zonal Secretary Governing Body Commissioners to send me at least twice in a month the reports of the activities in the respective zones. So I shall be glad to know how the new buildings in New York is being worked out. When I was in Los Angeles, I heard that a good many visitors were coming there, New York. It was very much encouraging. I think Bhavananda is president of the New York Center, and I shall be glad to hear from him. The Krishna manuscript, volume 2, has already been received by Daya Nippon, but the Hindi bit Back to Godhead is not received. Most probably, it will reach them today, and then I shall talk to Daya Nippon. Regarding shipment of books, you need not send Sri Aishobhanishad because I have already ordered from Dai Nippon 10,000 copies. I think you have already received a list of books which are to be dispatched from Boston, so you can send the balance that is without Sri Aishobhanishad. Go on printing the pictures for second canto as many as possible. Regarding other pictures, Tamala Krishna is arranging for them being printed in Germany and France. But if Jadurani has spare time, she can also go on painting some pictures of spiritual masters and Panchatattva. I think the cover of First Step in God Realization is not to the point. There is a picture in Gita Press Gita Press Bhagavata, where Shukadeva Goswami has been offered a nice raised throne, and the king Parikshit, along with other sages, sitting on the floor on the bank of Ganges, and it is very nice. The king Parikshit has no beard. His face should be very nice looking, young king between 30 to 40 years age. I have already approved of the schedule which you have sent me. If you follow this new schedule very strictly, there will be no chance of Maya penetrating our camp and try to introduce the same schedule in New York and other centers. According to your report of July 25th, 1970 press meeting, you are going to issue a booklet for Vyasa Puja, but as yet no such booklet have been received by us. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any comments, Mataji, from this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is like Prabhupada is asking Satyaswarupa. They're discussing about the management side. The Prabhupada has divided the things into zone and has given different devotees the in charge of different zones. And Prabhupada wanted to hear from them at least twice in a month, but Prabhupada was not receiving any report, what's going on, what's happening, anything from them. So Prabhupada was little anxious and Prabhupada was asking what's going on. And another thing is like Prabhupada about the book. Prabhupada wanted to how Prabhupada wanted to include more pictures in each book and how they wanted to be printed. And yeah, Prabhu, it's like And always Prabhupada always says like particularly about the every book should have the pictures of spiritual master and Panchatattva, because that is important. That is where everyone starts. Like that will be meeting a spiritual master or hearing something about them either through some videos or some through some books or something. That is the entry level. That is through one's get into the spiritual world or spiritual journey. So that is all very important. So when someone see the pictures, someone will ask me, "Oh, who is this or what is this?" Then that is like a starting point of their new journey. So Prabhupada always wanted that spiritual master pictures and Panchatattva pictures everywhere, either in the new center or new Namahata. Prabhupada wanted to install that pictures. And then about Sugadeva, the picture that has to be in first step in God realization, how Prabhupada was very strict or very um, Prabhupada was wanted everything to be in a standard size, like every books and everything. Prabhupada was noticing, attention to detail Prabhupada was doing. And then Parikshit, how Parikshit Maharaj should look like, the age between 30 to 40 years, very nice looking, young king, like that Prabhupada was saying. And Prabhupada was saying we should arrange our day and we should plan a schedule in which we should be 24 into 7 engaged in one thing or another thing in Krishna consciousness. If these old devotees are like sannyasis or full-time brahmacharis, or so their life and soul is like this movement, Krishna consciousness. They don't have any other thing. So even if grihasthas also, if they are engaged in Krishna consciousness, arrange the schedules in a way that there is no space for Maya to enter. So yes, Prabhu, that was the things. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees? Sanchita Mataji, you wanted to add anything from this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Not exactly. I mean, Sharna Mataji has really very nicely explained. It's basically not much tattva. It's about an update Prabhupada wants bi-monthly from his devotees, especially because the movement was started in, New York. I mean, the West America. So that's why everything like how the temple is working, how his senior devotees are working, managing everything. And by then, he was traveling all over the world, but he was very eager to know how uh, whether things are in place, because he was still getting reports from here and there of few things happening. Swami is getting into trouble and all that. So he made sure that it's kind of way of having update as well as chastising, that I had asked like for report twice a month, but none of you are sending. So and on Satswarupa Prabhu, I think he had a lot of confidence, so he's writing to him to ask others to send letters. Like Prabhupada was very keen to get the reports, and rest of the things Mataji has explained. So yeah, that's it, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so thank you so much. And also some of the descriptions, the pictures, giving picture and Gita plus Bhagavata. So giving that Srimad Bhagavatam picture as soon as we open that one. The first page itself, there we see Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit when he is surrounded by all other sages like Narada Muni, Vyasadeva, so nicely. So Prabhupada was encouraging to have such kind of pictures. Okay, so that is one thing as well. That is the journey. As soon as we see the books and the picture on top of it, we immediately understand what could be the content of it. We expect some story on top of that. So we are encouraged by looking at beautiful pictures. Okay, so that is my takeaway as well from this letter. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter and from the announcements point of view. So today evening we have got Bhagavad Gita session with Mahima Navadas Prabhuji at 7 p.m. And also today there is a Jagannath Ratha Yatra in the Manchester. So I'm just going there. I may not be in this evening session, or I may join a bit late. Okay, so that is about upcoming events. And the devotees, and also one more thing is the Lakshmi contributions for Jagannath Ratha Yatra in the Bengal. I have shared that statement. I think some devotees are still contributing it. Yeah, and Saurabh Prabhuji asked us to uh, uh, transfer all of that one to Vrindavan Das Prabhuji today. And then I will do that one. I will transfer like every Saturday like that. So it would help him as he is going there. Okay, so it will be like a three or four times I would transfer. As soon as we receive funds, I will transfer to Prabhuji. Okay, once in a week like that. That is from my updates. And the devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall move to the next part, Srimad Bhagavatam, that third canto, 16th chapter about the Vaikuntha's pastimes. This is what we need, very important part, the key part. So far, there is a glorification happening and some conversations and understanding the circumstances. Now, finally, the conclusive bit is very important in the Vaikuntha, what is happening. Okay, so dear devotees, if you have got anything, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall move to the Bhagavatam.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, just to reiterate what you have said, like today is Vadashi, like before we do the Parana, it's a nice and auspicious moment to do some donations. So those who want to and have not, please take this opportunity to contribute something for the Rath Yatra, which Vrindavan Prabhu is organizing. Yeah, that's all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Benedicta. This, or like, in the purpose, we have it was described that, there's Holy Son is like same as like Krishna, and Holy is like, powerful and everything. So like, then why did they have made a mistake when that saint asked that something about, and he just said, oh, this is pregnant, and like, and that's what happened. So why Krishna's sons has done that kind of mistake with the Rishi?
The sages like Sambhava
Yes,
as a
yeah,
woman.
yes. So
So it is the orchestration of Krishna wanted to. So Krishna was to be in this world for 125 years. So that is already predefined. And now, before he goes, and his family members are so powerful and strong enough as well. So, enough to annihilate themselves, it is not possible for any other kings. So he has made a plan with the small things, and also Brahmana Shapa is na Brahmadanda Dagdasya na Bodha Bhairasya cha. So that is again, for example, here in the Vaikuntha, four Kumaras, they have cursed Jaya and Vijaya as well, directly the assistants of the Lord. But similarly, here in the Krishna's pastimes in the Dwaraka, so this whenever the sages like I think Narada Muni, Vyasadeva, they're all going, and then Sambhava is dressed as a just they wanted to. It is not they wanted to offend them. They did not have any bad intentions, but they wanted to have a fun. Like when Hanuman was in the childhood times, though he is so immensely powerful, but he was doing some fun things with the sages. The sages, they simply cursed him that you forget everything. But that is not a offensive kind of transactions. Here, Samba's situation is also like that. So when he was, those children were doing like that, they have cursed him, Samba, like you give a birth to a rod and then it will ruin all your family. Of course, it is the plan behind it that that he has to live and also annihilate the all of the Edo dynasty as well. So that is the main plan. But they did not have offensive intentions, but it is the only fun, just like a Hanuman.
Oh yeah, okay, because the Krishna himself planned to leave this like material world and all his to the dynasty as well. Yeah, that's the reason. Okay.
Yes, and also if it comes through the Brahmanas, if we see any of those Krishna's pastimes, somewhere or other, directly or indirectly, there may be connection to the Brahmanas. They are directing either to start this way. I mean, Hiranyakshipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravana, Sukumat. It started with the four Brahmanas in the Vaikuntha, and also here Brahmanas. And wherever Krishna goes in and around, directly or indirectly, with the Brahmanas and his devotees mainly.
So like his children and everybody is thinking like Krishna is Bhagavan himself, like God. They also worship like him always as his father. How does the relationship with their children?
So the children are to be worshipped as well, you mean?
No, I'm saying like this supreme personality of Godhead, like so what did the children think is as father or like supreme worship? Like as a Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, how do they have relationship? They think this is my father is a supreme personality of Godhead, or how does the relationship between the children and like between the families in Krishna?
Yes, that one, Vidura also mentioned that he addresses Aniruddha as the Bhagavan, so Krishna's grandson. So Krishna, Balaram, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, they are Krishna's expansions. Vasudeva and Krishna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So it's Chaturvyuha. So there, Krishna in the Dwaraka, it is the Vasudeva Krishna. And then Krishna in Vrindavana, that is Vrindavani Krishna. So that is described by our Acharyas and also in the Brahma Vaivata Purana as well. So Krishna directly speaks to Brahma saying that I would not live in the Vrindavana, I always in the Vrindavana, but Narayana is here. So now he hasn't. So Narayana, while everyone are watching, Narayana entered into the body of Krishna. And Vishnu also entered into the body of Krishna. Then Krishna is speaking. So in the Vrindavana pastimes, in the Dwaraka, so at the time, what this Narayana or Vasudeva Krishna is going to carry out these activities, all the pastimes. But I would not leave Vrindavan, something like that Krishna mentions to all the demigods as well. So here, if we see the Krishna's expansions, Tad Ekatma Rupa, one is, and then that is Swayam Prakasha. So those Prabhava Prakasha, Vaibhava Prakasha. So Vaibhava Prakasha is like a Balaram, and then further that Ekatma Rupa, that going into the Vilasa, again Vilasa into Prabhava Vilasa is Vasudeva Sankashna, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha Chaturvyuha. So deity for both in this सहस्रशं साक्षात् यम अनंतं यम अनंतं प्रचक्षते संकर्षणाख्यं पुरुषं भूतेन्द्रिय मनोमयं. That is the Lord Balaram, Sankarshanakhyam, who is the ego, who is the Lord of all the senses. Senses in the sense who makes them to engage. That is the ego, first of all. And then individual Hrushikanam यदाहुः अनिरुद्धाख्यं कृषिकानम् अधीश्वरम् स्यात् इन्दिवरस्यामं सम्राज्यं योगिभिः शनैः. That is the Aniruddha. Krushikanam Adishwaram. He is the Lord of the senses. But Bhutendriya Manomayam, it is the ego, false ego, is a deity for that one, is the Sankashan. And the Pradyumna is the Lord of the intelligence. Um, So likewise, it is described in the third canto, 26th chapter. So there it is elaborately in the Sankhya philosophy. And here in the Dwaraka, whenever he comes here, he expands himself into Vasudeva, Sankrishna, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, like his family as well. So likewise, Vidura has addressed Aniruddha as the Bhagavan. So that is according to the sage's statement. Again, Vidura mentions that one. Later on, we would see in this Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto itself.
Okay. But yeah, I'm just asking that what do the children think as Krishna is they are thinking that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, or their family, or they just think there's father, and how does this relationship between these children and Krishna?
They are all conscious that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but however,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
Yoga Maya covers them that my father, like that.
Okay.
Otherwise, if they know that everything like Yashodama and Nanda Maharaj and Krishna, Yoga Maya works there. So to carry out the pastimes, if Father is Supreme Personality of Godhead, that means what I should do, I have to render service to him. And then,
Mhm.
but things will be only in one direction. When the Yoga Maya is there, then orchestrate different active variegatedness will come into the existence, different rasa modes.
Yeah, because Nandamara and Yasodamaya and their friend never think this Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vrindavan. So same thing in Dwarka as well, isn't it? Due to Yogamaya.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so shall we move to that Srimad Bhagavatam? So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we are in the Vaikuntha. So Lord is there, and then we are all seeing, so just witnessing all things in the Vaikuntha. So four Kumaras, Jaya and Vijaya are there, and many other Vaikuntha people in their aeroplanes, they're also watching that scene. They're also watching that scene. So that is when the Jaya and Vijaya, they were cursed. So during that time, all these tabhyam mihessu animisheshu nishijhamana. And while everyone were watching, so these Kumaras, they were stopped by Jaya and Vijaya by their staffs. Vetrena cha askalayatam yet other Vetrena cha askalayatam. By their staffs, they have stopped them. Staff in the sense they have got something long one because the door got something like that. They have stopped them. So now not only everything, everyone are watching. So there is again the Lord is there again along with Goddess Lakshmi. Chalayan, yes, the तस्मिन् ययौ परमहंस मुनीनां तस्मिन् ययौ परमहंस महामुनीनां. So whenever Lord was coming, it was glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord. Chalayan Ishrihi, Chalayan uh, Sahasrihi, along with the goddess of fortune and his entourage. And everyone are coming. Tam Twagatam Praduhata Upaikum Swapumbibihi, Te Tekshita Akshibishyam स्वसमाधिभाग्यं हंससियोः व्यजनयोः शिववायुलोलद शुभ्रातपत्र शशिकेसर सीकराम्भम्. And Krishna is the Lord is coming with all his entourage. It is not alone coming to the that door gods and Kumaras with all his entourage. So many people are there. It is not just only few people, just only the characters. Many people are there while everyone are watching, and then Lord he is speaking to. So these Kumaras, they have glorified the Lord, and Lord has glorified the Brahmanas. And understand those glorification includes all kinds of philosophy, and then addressing each and every point of the Brahmanas. And also in order to respond that, Brahmanas are also taking each and every point of the Lord, again addressing that, Almighty Lord, you are the source behind everything, and because of that things are happening nicely. So likewise, they also glorified the Lord, and finally they come to the conclusion that these Kumaras, they became the devotees after smelling the smell of the smell coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. That is mixed with the tulsi leaves and lotus dust of uh, Krishna, Lord's lotus feet. Tat kinjal mishri tulsi makaranda vayuhu. And then once they became understand everything that they have got angry and made a mistake. Yam vanayoho dhammamadesha bhavan vidette vrittim nuvatad anmanmehi nirvilikam asmasu vayu uchido dritam sadhando ena gasuvayim aijakshmihi kilbhishena. So Jaya and Vijaya are the innocent people. We unnecessarily cursed them. So now, Almighty Lord, you wanted to punish them or you wanted to punish us. It is your wish. Likewise, when they say like that, the Lord says that Yeto suretar gatim pratipadya sajjaha sambhramba sambrata samadhi anubadha yogo bhuyah sakasham upyasata asu yogaha chapo maiva nimitaha tad aveta vipraha. Oh Kumaras, do not worry. So Jaya and Vijaya will take birth as in the Suretaragatim, opposite to the demigods, that is the demons. Pratipadya Sajjaha, they will take birth as the demons, and in the Sambhramba Sambrata Samadhi Anubadha Yoga, in a envious manner towards me. And then later on, they will quickly come back to Vaikuntha. Bhuyaha, again, Sakasham Upayasata, they will come back to me, Asu, very quickly, Yovaha, those two, Jaya and Vijaya. Shapo Mayo Nimitaha Tadavet Vipraha. So, but the sap, whatever you have given, this is by orchestrated by myself. Sapo mayaiva. This is very important. Sapo mayaiva. Nimitaha tad avet vipraha. When Krishna was speaking to Arjuna in the Kurukshetra battle as well, there he was mentioning mayaiva. Mayaivaite nihitaha purvameva. I have already killed this Bhishma, Drodam cha Bhishmam cha Jaidradam cha Karnam. ततान्यान् अपि योधवीरान् मया हतांस्त्वं जहिमा व्यतिष्ठा. So likewise, Vijjasva Tejasi Rane Sapatnan. Oh Arjuna, you just simply engage yourself. Nimitta matram bhavya sabya sachin. Likewise, Sapo Maiva Nimitha tad aveta vipraha. Nimitha tad aveta vipraha. Oh Kumaras, you are just a instruments. It is ordained by me. So likewise, the Lord says to Kumaras. Now the Kumaras, they understand. They have now taken a deep breath. They might have taken like that. Oh, it's not our offense. It is the Lord's thing. Okay, so that is the situation it has happened. That is where ends the Kumara's conversation. Now coming back to the Brahma is speaking to demigods. Now all this story is happening. Whatever is happening in the Vaikuntha, Brahma is sitting in his throne, and all the demigods sitting around him, and Brahma is telling that story to the demigods. Now what has happened after that? So saying that the Kumaras, they have left the Vaikuntha. So once they have heard from the Lord, they left the Vaikuntha, and what they did while leaving Vaikuntha. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 16, verse number 27. Brahma Vuvacham Atate Munayo Drushtva Nainanandabhajanam Vaikuntam Tad Adhisthanam Vikuntam Cha Swayam Prabham Atate Munayo Drushtva. So Atate Muniyo Drishtva. So Brahma is saying, Ataha now, Muniyaha, the sages, Drishtva, after seeing the Nainananda Bhajanam, the objective of the eyes, pleasure of the eyes, that is Vaikuntam Tad Adhisthanam. And they have seen the Vaikuntam is the Vaikuntha planet. Here they have seen Apuh Paramudam Apurm Upetya Yoga Maya Balena Muniyaha Tadato Vikuntam. They have seen all these aeroplanes and the people with the beauty of the Vaikuntha and the Lord and his entourage and everything. If we go to the Tirumala temple on top of the hills, we would see so many beautiful gardens and so many flowers are there, and his entourage all the time around the temple. The festivals are going on. We would feel that is the real Vaikuntha. We are just walking, and when if we are hungry, go to the free meal. It is 24 hours a day. They're serving the prasadam, and we take the prasadam, and then
Hare Krishna, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Lord Brahma said after seeing the Lord of Vaikuntha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the self-illuminated Vaikuntha planet, the sages left that transcendental abode. The transcendental abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated in Bhagavad Gita and confirmed in this verse, is self-illuminated. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that in the spiritual world there is no need of sun, moon, or electricity. This indicated that all the planets there are self-illuminated, self-sufficient, and independent. Everything there is a complete Lord Krishna. Everything there is a completed. Lord Krishna says that once one goes to the Vaikuntha planet, he never returns. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha never returned to the material world, but the incident of Jaya and Vijaya was a different case. They came to the material world for some time and then they returned to Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So this one, can anyone say that where Krishna says that all his planets are self-illuminated from Bhagavad Gita? Can anyone quote that one? Sanjita Mataji?
I cannot remember the exact reference, Prabhu. I'm just trying to recollect.
Okay, just
Yeah, I mean, it's he says somewhere that it's not by the sun and the moon. It's all the planets and all the Vaikuntha. His loka is illuminated by his own effulgence, Brahman effulgence. But I cannot remember the shlok, Prabhu. Sorry.
Can anyone remember?
Hare Krishna.
I will give a clue. Natad bhasayate.
सूर्येण शशाङ्कुनिपावकः
Yad gatva.
निवर्तन्ते तद्धामं परमम्.
Yeah, it's very beautifully described. Avyakto khidiyukta tamahuhu paramam gatim Yam prapya nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Even though everything is annihilated, my abodes are never annihilated. That is my abode. Na tadbhasite suju, na shashanko na pavakaha. Yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. They're all self-illuminated. Okay, so no need of sun, moon, and electricity. And here,
in Bhagavad Gita chapter, which chapter?
this is chapter 15, verse number, I think, 7 or something like that.
Oh, chapter.
Okay, so and also here in this situation, these four Kumaras, they have taken darshan. What is their intention? Cherul Vihasalokan Lokeshu Vigataspruhaha. When Brahma was saying, Mansarmi Hito Yushmat Purujaha Sanakadayaha. Cherul Vihasalokan Lokeshu Vigataspruha. They do not have any desire, they were just wandering. And Ekada Bhagavato Vaikuntasya Amalatmanaha. One day they wanted to see the Lord. Yuyur Vaikunta Lokam Sarva Loka Namaskam. They did not have a desire to go to the Vaikunta, but Chere Vihas, because Vigataspruha, they did not have any material desires at all, just wandering throughout the universe. At the time, they also wanted to go to the Vaikunta. It is not that they wanted to go and stay there itself. That is not they did. They wanted to see go to the Vaikuntha and come back. And for that purpose, they have gone there and see the Lord and all his intelligent planet. Now they are returning back. But whereas in Jaya and Vijaya, and many devotees they worship here in this planet only to go back to the Lord and back to Godhead. That is because it is eternal home. That is the purpose of the devotees and get Krishna's association. This one also mentioned धौतात्म पुरुषः कृष्णपादमूलं न मुञ्चति मुक्तसर्वपरिक्लेशः पान्तः स्वशरणं यथा. After roaming around this world, they come to the devotional service to Krishna. Dhautatma Purushaha Krishna Padamulam Namunchati. Once they come to the Krishna's lotus feet, they will never ever leave. And then finally, that is once in the material world, they will go back to the Godhead. It may be just as long as they're in Krishna consciousness, it may see that someone is progressing quick, someone is not quick, some are slow, some are, but everyone are in the right path. They will go back to the home, either in a month or years or maybe 100 years. In the eternity of time, that is nothing, even that is a hundreds of years. But in due course of time, everyone will go back and then they do not return. But here in the Jaya and Vijaya, Lord has planned for them that go back and then you perform Sambhramba Samvrita Samadhi Anubadha Yoga. Sambhramba is act like envies. But here they did not come because of their sinful activities. They became Hiranyakshipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravanasura, Kumbhakarna, Sisupal, Dantavakra. Though they have acted like in the material world towards enviousness because of Krishna, always envious towards Krishna, they did not take that sinful activity along with them because the Lord has purified them by the time they are leaving. They did not carry any sinful activities with them. So that's why they did not take another birth again to go into another Narakashani Yam Yam Yoni Masogataha. They did not take another birth again and again like the ordinary human beings or ordinary living entities. Okay, so likewise Prabhupada is describing. I request dear devotees, you share your reflections and your philosophy, what you understand, what you wanted to share. Hare Krishna. Mataji. Nandita Mataji wanted to share anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, a bit later. I'm just, sorting out a bit of prasadam for the children. They have been fasting Nirjala. So just giving them some prasadam. So, and then bit, I'm still listening, but I'll share a bit later. Is it okay?
Yes, Mataji. That's fine.
Yeah, Pranshu is nearly half dead, but he managed. So
Vijaya Ekadasi, it is so wonderful. Children did it means it is wonderful.
yeah, both of them, like yesterday, they did. So I just did some paran and offering prasadam, helping them to eat slowly and like with fruits and all. So
Yes.
yeah, Prabhu, just give me a few moments. I'll
Yes,
come
sure.
later.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Hare Krishna.
Meena Mataji, Usha Mataji.
I think so nice of Mataji's the children's, doing this Ekadasi Vijaya. So nice.
Yes.
Very young, still they did that Nirjala. So wonderful.
Yes, Mataji. It's not possible even for the elders as well. They would say something, some reason. Oh, I'm in medication. I cannot live without water, without food. They will say some reason. But it is the endeavor. It always works. Lord sees the endeavor. He sees the intentions. Okay.
Yeah, Mataji, it's like only with Lord's mercy. Otherwise, it's not possible. I tell them not to do because they go to schools, especially Purbasha so far, and she was hospitalized last year. So much problems, health, and Pranchu keeps on going to the hospital every now and then. But ask them not to do, but beyond it, like yesterday, they got sometimes children get house points and they get some treats, and other children were given sweets and all in the class. And he was also given, but he kept it in his bag. And so I see the determination in them. And so I don't, Pala Prabhu from hospital, he was saying, like, don't ask the children. I said, I don't ask, but my children, like, they will get angry if I don't let them do it. So I said, okay, as long as you can. So, yeah.
Oh, so nice.
Wonderful. It's so best.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. So, would you like to share anything on this verse, Mataji?
No, Prabhu, yes, so it's nice like the Vaikuntha description which are doing on the whatever Jaya and Vijaya. But Venkatapram, so how does the Narita go to go back to Venkatapram?
Thank you, Mataji.
I just went to like small questions. So Krishna is also in Vaikuntha planet, and also like Krishna, there is a Golaka Vrindavan. So Golaka, so he will be both places.
Goloka is Krishna's eternal abode, and that is in his Nijarupa. Nijarupa is his original form. And it is Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hrudayeshu Vilokayanti. There it is mentioned like in the Brahma Samhita. Uh, Ananda Chinmatra, what is that verse? I couldn't recognize it. But there, that is Nijarupa. Nijarupa is the original form of the Lord. In the Brahma Samhita it comes. Let me just bring that verse. So that is the original form of Krishna. It is going in my... If I just type original. Okay, so this one originally in the Brahma's prayers. They show this one. Is that one? आनंद चिन्मय रस प्रतिभाविताभिः ताभिर्येव निजरूपतया कलाभिः निजरूपतया so निजरूपतया कलाभिः with his own form. This is the own form. Everything else is his expansions. And taya kalabihi is who are part and portions of his pleasure potency. Goloka eva nivasati akilatma bhuto govinda purusham tamaham bhajami. So here in this purport, Prabhupada is describing, resembling his own spiritual figure, an embodiment of ecstasy, ecstatic potency possessed of 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidence, Sakis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by ever blissful spiritual rasa. That is the goal with Radharani's expansions and in his own real form with Radha. This is the original form. Everything else is Krishna's expansions. Rama Dimurtishu Kala Niyameva Tishtun Nanavataram Akrut Bhuneshu Kintu. So again, Prabhupada explains all his potencies are one and the self-same existence. Still, they exist eternally as separate entities, Radha and Krishna. But if we wanted to see what is the, if there is nothing else, anything is material and different expansions. If I wanted to see only one thing, what is it? That is only Krishna's form. Having the Vedum Kwadantam Arvinda Dalayataksha, that is just only Krishna's form is the only one. And then that one form expands into Krishna and Radha, again further gopis and gopas, and then Vaikuntha Lokas and Narayana, Vishnus, and everything else, and about this material world. If I wanted to see only the Krishna, that is Krishna's form, one single Krishna with a flute, and Radharani is within him. That is his original form. Sometimes we would see only Krishna without Radharani. That is his original, only one single object. But when the rasas and variegatedness comes into the picture, Radharani and pleasure potency, so many other things will come again. Okay, so that is, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So, like in Vaikuntha, I said Narayan, like Vishnu.
They will also enter into Krishna's body.
Yeah. Okay.
And Lord Shiva also goes into Krishna's body.
So, like this is not Brahma's son, like Lord Shiva. No, Krishna. Right.
Just only Krishna, no one else. So in the Brahmaveta Mahapurana, Vaivarta means it is barricade, means how Brahma is transforming himself into different varieties. And then Krishna, single Krishna, so in his abode, of course, even abode also, there is a Rasa Mandala between the Shadashringa Parvata and then Virija river. There, that Rasa Mandala, it is also dimensions are given. And out of those things, the beautiful the Rasa dance place, and then within that again decorated with so many jewels and palace, and then there is a nice bed and couch. There Krishna take a nap. And then once he wakes up, and then on his sweet will, then whenever he sees and he wanted to do it, then again he expands into all things. So Narayana, Lord Shiva, Brahma, and then Radharani, Parvati, and everything is created again. And it fills with all the gopas, gopis, and then this Vaikuntha planets with Narayana and all the 400 forms. But that is all things are beyond our calculations. Here, Brahma's lifetime, it is given in the Prakriti Kanda, in the Brahmavaita Mahapurana, that the dimensions of the timing dimensions, how many years they would live. And Brahma's lifespan is 311 trillion years as per our calculations. And it is just like a blink of time for the Lord. And then Lord has got that many number of days, and that is one blink. And then he has also got nimeshas and days and months and years like that for that Mola Prakriti. Mola Prakriti of that many number of years, and Mola Prakriti also enters into Krishna's body. But Krishna does not have any of time influence. But in terms of calculating, we ourselves cannot compare it to the demigods. And what to speak of Brahma and Brahma's days, his lifespan, and then beyond the Lord, it is beyond our limitations and the calculations. So, but Krishna will be alone. That is what mentioned in the Brahma Vaivarta Mahapurana.
Like,
And also in the Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna says that the same thing.
yeah. Just like so.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
The pure devotee who make them go to the Vaikuntha planet, who are the devotee who can go direct to the Goloka Vrindavan, what they do in order to get that planet like Goloka Vrindavan, like Goloka, how they get.
Yes, so for that one, this Brihad Bhagavatam, I think it is written by Sanatana Goswami about a story of a Gopal. So how he has seen all this worshipping of the lords, and then finally he goes to the Vaikuntha. There he sees the Lord in the Vaikuntha form, in his opulence form. But he was expecting to see Krishna, but there Lord is in the mood of he is the Lord, everyone are his servant. And then here, after his understanding, Gopal's understanding, the Lord says that this is Vaikuntha. So I think you desire to go to the Goloka, but for that one, you need to go back and then perform this worship of Krishna. To then you can go back straight to the Goloka. Gopal comes back, and then he finally he carries just only in the Krishna's two-handed form, and then he goes back to Goloka Vrindavan, where and then Krishna, as soon as he sees Gopal, he hugs him. So that's a beautiful pastime of that Goloka. And that one is mentioned. Krishna hugs. There is one picture as soon as the Gopal comes, so Krishna immediately he hugs him. He has been looking for that Krishna's beautiful form. Did you see this one? This is the one.
Yeah. He's ordinary. He was ordinary devotee, and then he get to Vaikuntha, and then he come back like that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Isaka, wow, so nice picture.
Yes. And as soon as they first see, both will fall unconscious and then stand up and then just hug each other. And then, where have you been? Oh, my Gopal, like that, my friend. I have been waiting for you very long time. And then they cry each other. Okay, so the beautiful pastimes are described in the Brihad Bhagavatam. Okay, so that is Vaikuntha. We shall move to the another shlok as well. What here, the four Kumaras, after understanding, before they are leaving the Vaikuntha, they take the parikrama. So this is what we need to do. So learning from these pastimes, once we go to the temple and take darshan, take the parikrama of the Lord, and then offer the obeisances and then leave the temple. And here these Kumaras, they have done the similar way. भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मुः प्रमुदिताः संचन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियम्. Bhagavantam Parikramya. and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parikramya, after circumambulating the Lord, and Pranipatya is after offering obeisances. Pranipatya, Anumanya, after learning, after understanding about the Lord and glories. This is once we go to the temple, understand the Sthala Purana, what is the story of the Lord, why it is, and everything. Bhagavantam Parikramya Pranipatya Anumanya cha. And Pratijagmuhu, after hearing that Katha, Sthala Purana, and understanding about those things, what we do? Pratijagmuhu, and then Pramuditaha, returned from that place and with extremely delighted. And Samsanto, glorifying those Lord and his pastimes, that's Sthala Purana, and all associating paraphernalia. Samsanto Vaishnavim Shriyam, of the Vaishnavas, and Shriyam, opulence. So once we go to the Vrindavan and see and everything, how fortunate these Vrindavana people, Rajasis are there. We glorify them. Likewise, if we go to these Vaikuntha planets, how fortunate of these people of these Vaikuntha, and they are directly assisting the Lord Jagannatha in the Puri, in the Tirumala temples, in the Ranganatha Kshetra, in the Dwarkadish temple, and all ISKCON temples are there. In the Bhaktivedanta manner, how fortunate these devotees engaged in the service of the Lord. Shamshanto Vaishnavim Shriyam. These Kumaras are glorifying them, all of their opulences. This is Bhagavantam Parikramya Pranipatyanumanyacha cha Pratijagmuhu Pramritaha Shamshanto Vaishnavim Shriyam. So likewise Kumaras are glorifying. So now we may not understand the glorification of the devotees who are going into the Bhaktivedanta manner and serving them. We may not be seeing those things, but demigods are praising the devotees who are engaged in the kitchen service or cleaning services or prasadam transfer services. How fortunate these people are. Likewise, Samshanto Vaishnavim Shriyam, that is their opulence. So that is how the sages circumambulated the Supreme Lord, offered their obeisances, and returned extremely delighted at learning of the divine opulences of the Vaishnava. Because the Vaishnavas under the protection of the Lord. Look at the glories of Jaya and Vijaya. Though they are always Sapo Mayoha Tad Niveta Vipraha. So Lord has arranged, and also he was Bhuyaha Sakasham Upayasata Asyovaha. They wanted to be taken back by the Lord. So see, Lord is personally protecting them. So after understanding those things, they are glorifying the Vaishnavas. Okay, so very nice. Can I request Gauringa Mataji to read the purport? It's a tiny purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It is still a respectful practice to circumambulate the Lord in the Hindu temples, especially in Vaishnava temples. There is an arrangement for people to offer their respect to the deity and circumambulate the temple at least 3 times. Hare Krishna Prabhupada.
Can anyone share anything, any comments, Mataji? Any reflection?
This is about the temple Prabhuji. Brindavan temples 3 times. Don't understand Prabhuji. You can explain Prabhuji. I don't have any knowledge. Sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. So, any other comments?
But we don't have in our temple too. We can go to the parikrama of temple, like deity.
I think every temple, it may not be inside, we could do outside as well.
I see, outside. Okay.
Outside. Yes, sometimes we may not be allowed inside, directly going to the temple. Garbhagudi, the inner temple. So we are not allowed there. But we can go around the temple, circumambulating 3 times.
Outside. Okay. So whenever you go temple, it's good to do that parikrama 3 times.
Yes, it is the custom that we do it. Just generally, when we go to, for example, some temples.
Shiva temple, yeah, Shiva temple they say there, link with middle, and then you can do the parikrama, most of them.
Yeah, but Vaishnava temples, they have got that arrangement. A proper Vaishnava temple would have got that facilities to take the proper 3 times circumambulating and then offer obeisances, Dandavat Pranam. For example, we see the typical temple is Tirumala temple. We can take the 4 rounds or 3 rounds around the temple in the proper space, so that the space is also used for the Lord to taken in the for festivals. Uh, for what is that? Utsavas. Street festival, and the Lord is taken on the palanquins and doing bhajans, keeping the 2 big elephants in front of the Lord, and then going around the 3 times around the temple. Sometimes only once because of too much of crowd.
Yeah.
Like
In
that.
Mayapur, and they have facility inside as well. You can do.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, here, we sometimes in the temple we see, like in Bhaktivedanta Mana, people, some devotees are chanting, circumambulating, having pradakshina of the whole, as Prabhu mentioned, the whole building, like it's like around the path around, and like we can do for Tulsi Manch as well, Tulsi Maharani. So that is also, I mean, in the Tulsi Arti, it so nicely says, like, Tulsi Maharani is so dear to Lord Krishna, and in the Tulsi Arti last shlok it says, Yani Kani cha papani brahma hattadi Kani cha Tani Tani pranashanti pradakshina pade pade. So by circumambulating Srimati Tulsi Devi, all the sins of one commits, even like of killing, even the sin of killing a Brahman, Brahmahattadi, so like that is also destroyed at every pade, like every step we are doing for the pradakshina. So in some temples, if it's not possible, even we can circumambulate around Tulsi Maharani. So that it also has that benediction. Yeah, in India temples have, but yeah, Mayapur it's there. But here, the space how we have it, that's a great fortune. But like it was George Harrison's house, and Soho Temple was just a building. So the arrangement could not be done to some making internal changes, and also it would have added cost. So of course, pradakshina is very important part of, like it's another devotional service we do. So, but Prabhupada could not arrange. But as Prabhu mentioned, we can go around it, and that also give us the same benedictions. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. It's very nice to hear those things. And all about everywhere, even not only us, even if we see in different religious people also, they do have got such kind of facilities to, if you see some of those, they will be roaming around their deities as well.
Yeah, in Swaminarayan temple, all of them they have like this.
Yes. So everyone is learning from these Vaikuntha pastimes, we would say. It's a practice.
Yeah, those temples are built much later, so they are purposely built. Like if you see the structure of Swaminarayan temple, or I mean these other temples, they were purposely built for that purpose. But I mean, ISKCON temples were like by donated the land or the building. So church in America, there are so many church which has converted. So maybe that's why they don't have that arrangement. But in India, like in India, the temples do have that. So
Yeah, in India too.
Yes. Okay. Any other comments?
Yeah, from this verse, at least we understand that is how important we do that. Up to now, we never think about that. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you for this
Would you
verse.
like would you like to recite this shloka, Mataji?
And I'm saying that from this verse, we learn that it's very important to do this parikrama 3 times, and before I don't know about that much. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Would you like to recite the shloka 3 times, Mataji?
Okay. भगवन्तं परिक्रम्यं प्रणिपात्येनुमान्य च प्रति प्रतिजन्म प्रतिजन्मो प्रमुदिता सत्सन्तो वैष्णवे श्रियम् भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणिपात्येनुमान्य च प्रतिजन्मो प्रतिजन्मो प्रमुदिता संसन्तो वैष्णवी वैष्णवी श्रियम् भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य पाणिप्रात्येनुमान्य च प्रतिजन्मो प्रमुदिताः संसन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियम्
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Nicely recited. Gauringi Mataji, would you like to recite 3 times?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्राणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मोह प्रमुदितः स शान्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियं भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्राणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मो प्रमुदितः प्रशान्तो संशान्तो वैष्णवीश्रियं भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्राणिपात्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मोह प्रमुदितः संशान्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियं हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, very beautifully recited, Mataji. Thank you. Sanchita Mataji, would you like to recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Bhagvantam parikramya प्रणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मुः प्रमुदिताः संसन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियम् भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मुः प्रमुदिताः संसन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियम् भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मुः प्रमुदिताः संसन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियम् हरे कृष्ण
Beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Vishal Mataji, please.
Prabhu Hare Krishna. भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मुः प्रमुदिताः संसन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियाम् भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मुः प्रमुदिताः संसन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियम् भगवन्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणिपत्यानुमान्य च प्रतिजग्मुः प्रमुदिताः संसन्तो वैष्णवीं श्रियम् हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So with that one, now Kumaras have left the Vaikuntha. So Brahmana's part is done. If we see for Parikshit Maharaj before Bhagavatam comes, there again Shringi, Samikarishi, they entered into the part, the cursing of Parikshit Maharaj, one Brahmana there. Their part is over, and then this Bhagavatam manifested later on. And likewise here, Brahmanas cursed this, sages cursed the Sambha when he was dressed as woman, and then their part is over. Later on, so much of things were there. Okay, likewise, wherever some Brahmana comes into the picture, and then he will be going out, and then very big story going to be manifested with the Lord and his devotees. Okay, so now Kumaras have left that Vaikuntha. Later on, what is going to happen. So all this is happening because Brahma is speaking to demigods that Diti is bearing that 2 children in her womb, Hiranyakshipu, Hiranyaksha, for 100 years. Later on, as soon as she gives birth, and Brahma says that this is not in my control. It is under the supervision of the Lord. Okay, so likewise, Brahma is saying to demigods. We will see what further Brahma is going to say. Okay, so we are already 8 past, and I have got the Yatra as well to go. Okay, we shall conclude for this week, and then we'll hear you next Saturday.
Prabhu, quickly, I mean, if you wanted me to summarize just in few lines, I can do the previous one you had asked me then. I
Yes,
could not.
Mataji. Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's self-explanatory, as we see. We has related. It's related to 15.6 Bhagavad Gita, where we see that all these. I mean, the spiritual sky. It's illuminated. Self-illuminated. But in our planet, the material planet, it's illuminated by only the sun, which is self-illuminous, and we get the light from that. And but in the spiritual world, it's self-sufficient, independent, and everything is complete. So anything external like sun, moon, electricity is not needed in that. And Lord Krishna says, one who we know is like crossing the Vaitarini. Like it's so if we are so much covered in this Mahat Tattva, we are so much covered in this material desires, this conditioned souls are so contaminated that we are we are reading this, we are learning about this, but we should have the desire, like as uh, souls, as we should have the desire to go there and see how, like sometimes when it's not sunny, we just put out light, like bulbs, lights, tube lights and all, and we can see the things with our material eyes. But if you just imagine that if we do not need anything and still all the time it's self-illuminated by Krishna's Brahma Jyoti effulgence, but to be there in Vaikuntha, from where we do not have to return, we have to go through this process of all these lifetimes of anarthas that we have. It has to be burned through the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, through anartha nivritti, by practicing devotional services, following the regulative principles. So Prabhupada has shown us this way, simple living, high thinking, that we can, and then go back to Godhead. So he has put the steps, like how we can see that spiritual sky, the self-illuminated one with the Brahma Jyoti. So once we are, there's no other way. It's not like you can get a ticket. I mean, these days, people who have money, they can go to the moon and come back. But that is something different. Elon Musk is facilitating all that. But like to go back to Godhead is like simply through getting done with our karma. Only then we can go, and nobody returns from there. But when Lord wants to do a leela, then he would arrange things in a way that is a bit different, like exception proves the rule. So for these Brahmana 4 Kumaras, though they had gone, like crossing all the 6 doors and reached on the 7th gate to meet the Lord Vishnu himself, but I mean, he did the Leela in such a way that though they had seen the Lord, so their desire was to meet the Lord, and that was complete. But because they were Brahmanas and they wanted more Leela and more annihilation of all the demonic personalities on the earth, I mean, they were already there, but he put some more, like really ferocious ones, like Durga Devi also killed so many demoniacs, like Mahisasura and all that. But Lord has put this, like Ravanasura, Kamsa, Dantavakra, Harinakashipu. I mean, these ferocious, I mean, the big ones, like the big pillars, like that. In game of chess, we have the main characters, like king, queen, and bishops and all that, and we have got the pawns. So the pawns were already there, but he put the main demoniac characters here to so that the stage can be set and Lord can come down and in his avatars and annihilate them. So that was a bigger plan, which we'll see later. So that's so they came to the material world for some time, but of course after the Leela was finished, they were delivered by the Lord, and they went to Vaikuntha. They returned to Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna. Sorry if I took a bit of time. I know you are in a rush.
No, Mataji, it is so beautifully described. So again, whenever this big demons comes, all small demonic people, they will go around him, around them, and uh, then the Lord will get a chance to annihilate those people as well. So that is main purpose. So to attract the small things, one has to put a bigger thing. And then we know, for example, in the Kurukshetra battle, immediately Pandavas are on one side and the Kauravas are on another side. Immediately understand whose intentions are what. And then all who have got some kind of inclination towards the Duryodhana, bad intentions, they have gone that side, and some are without any proper, without any other way, like Bhishma and Drona, because they have survived on the livelihood is supplied by Duryodhana, so they have chosen to stay there. But who have got favorable towards the Pandavas, they have come this side. This is another way, like when Hiranyaksha are coming in a demonic way. All this, the similar kind of intentions of living entities, they come and surrounding around those demonic people. You described very nicely, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. They're like magnets. The big demons were like the magnets, and all the small ones, they got attracted to them and made a big clan. So that was Lord's plan, like without him doing, just sending these 4 Kumaras in different yugas. So the smaller ones, you very rightly mentioned, that they got attracted to them, and they, like Duryodhana's has such a wish Ashivahini. So so many got attracted to that side, and it was easier for Lord. So he does not have to go to many places. In the Battle of Kurukshetra only, he gave it. Of course, it was his plan, but he gave chance to credit. He mentioned in the Bhagavatam shloka when we're doing, he always gives credits. He does not want to take all the credit, though he can. It says nothing. If he can live the Govardhan when he was 7 years old, so that the killing them is no big deal. But he wants to give credit to the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, his devotees, and his like confidential devotees. So yeah, like that. So he does not like to take the credit all the time and to glorify them.
Yeah, and also Jarasandha's case. He was
Jarasandha, yeah, Bhima, like how he tore him apart, like because they were doing the Ashwamedha Yagya, they wanted to conquer all of them, right? So it wouldn't have been difficult for the Lord to do that, but he just left it spare, like you go and do it, so you get the credit, and so the Ashwamedha Yagya can be completed that way. Yeah.
Jarasandha, though Krishna could kill him directly, but he spared Jarasandha life so that he could annihilate only the soldiers of Jarasandha, not Jarasandha immediately.
Yeah.
So for
So
70
nice pastimes, yeah. And when we know more, to the Krishna book, when we read all of them, and Muchukunda also in the cave, how he glorified, and Shamprabhu, when we were reading that part so nicely, it's beautiful. So all these, like when we read through the whole of Krishna book and try to connect, the Leelas he just performed as Krishna. Of course, as Vishnu, he has got so much pastimes which we come through Bhagavatam, but even as Krishna, on this material world, so beautiful pastimes to understand the Lord and help us transcend, so that we can think beyond our material desires, and then have some desire to not annihilate, but yeah, in a sense, that destroy all our anarthas, and then try to reach there. It's not easy, and I don't know whether it's one lifetime is easy for all of us, but we can try, so that less karma, less prarabdha is left to go back quicker, because the more time we keep on coming, Kali Yuga will be advancing, and soon there'll be a time, there'll be farm. It's in the 11th or 12th canto, I can't remember. It's written like there'll be no crops, farming land will be taken for many things, and then people will be eating like insects and all that, and so much. So we do not want to come again in more Kali Yuga. So and then get entangled in that. It will be even more miserable. We had, I mean, if we think we had such not so bad life, like when we were young, till 30 or 40 years life in India, or it was so, I mean, okay. But now if you see from our children, they're born and seeing the wars all throughout the world. I mean, we did not see, we were fortunate, we did not see World War One, Two, or I mean, we grew up in a much peaceful time. Only Middle East Gulf War was going on, but we were not affected. But see here, like the inflation goes up, the Ukraine war started, things were not, oil was not supplied, bread was like, I mean, so much problems come on. Like our children are born in this, so we do not want to come back again and again and get it will only get worse and worse. So if we keep that picture in mind, I mean, use this. We have just one lifetime to use, and then get the business sorted. So that should be our aim. Yeah. Sorry, Prabhu, I can carry and go on. I mean, this Bhagavad Katha is never ending. I realize also, but I'll just let you carry on, Prabhu, please. Yeah. All the best for the Rath Yatra. Hope you have a blissful time attending. And yeah, we'll hear about it later. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, sharing all these realizations. That is true. Whatever we know, every living entity has got different kinds of conceptions before we come to Krishna consciousness. As soon as we connect it to Krishna, we now immediately that reflection would change, and connecting Krishna, the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita, the new things will be manifested while describing it. Okay, so thank you so much. But at the end, we have got the scriptures and Krishna. Everything is rooted only lotus feet of Krishna. And then engage there. Okay, any other comments, final comments? Or we shall conclude and continue with further japa.
Yeah, just to remind, like tomorrow there's Panihati festival in Soho Temple. So, just want to mention that over there, they, like, the devotee are making pot and then do the action. So, Pruvasa, has one of the Kanchan Mataji asked her to do some service, and she just done service like 2 o'clock in the morning. She just wake up and make this painting of like, Panchtattva for that pot. So, yeah, so it's so good of her. And yes, so tomorrow there is festival as well.
Very nice service by Purvasa Mataji. Sanchita Mataji, we are so blessed with good children.
Yeah, she wake up until 2 o'clock and like make sure next day she has school as well. So still she managed to do that, and yeah.